Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, One Book or Novel at a Time. Here I am, ready to read to you another sad, tragic, and ghostly story. I will be reading The Lady in Red, which legend states it occurred at the LaBorde House in Rio Grande City. The Lady in Red is featured in the book Ghosts of the Rio Grande Valley, written by David Bowles, and its illustrations were created by Jose Melendez. Here you have the cover of the book. Thank you to Mr. David Bowles for allowing me to share this story and using his book, and also a huge thank you to the LaBorde House for allowing me to use their images and for also allowing me to share the story. The legend goes like this. Employees of the Stark County Historical Foundation and others who work in the LaBorde House are the first to nod at reports of the paranormal. They themselves have seen apparitions, heard footsteps, and even been physically touched by what seem to be human spirits. And of course, they have filled multiple calls from visitors confronted with the supernatural elements of the hotel. Here we have a beautiful image of the hotel. Different rooms and areas of LaBorde House, events, hauntings by distinct beings, all tied to the site by some tragedy that befell them there. A mere mention of the Red Room sends chills down local spines. Even elementary students in the community know about those carmine quarters. When Fort Ringo was still open, the soldiers stationed there often sought surcease and satisfaction in the arms of an elegant prostitute, known to all as the Lady in Red. Smelling sweetly of roses, a lovely crimson clinging to her welcoming curves, the Lady in Red would sit in the courtyard of LaBorde House on certain evenings, waiting for a lonely soldier to approach and accompany her to her preferred room. A sumptuous spread done in scarlet and vermilion. As fate would have it, the Lady in Red found herself falling in love with a young lieutenant who had recently been posted to the fort. The weeks progressed, and she stopped taking customers, desiring only to spend every moment she could in the company of her beau. "We'll marry," he whispered to her one night as they stared out over the river. "I'll take you away from here, far away, to where no one knows who you are or what you've done." "Nothing matters to me," she sighed in response, "except being with you, wherever you wish, however you desire." Ah, but the lieutenant was a liar. A fiancé awaited him back home, and he had no intention of taking his new lover anywhere at all. One week, he did not show up for their scheduled tryst. Desperate and afraid, the Lady in Red traveled to Fort Ringo to inquire after his health and whereabouts. "The lieutenant has shipped out," she was told. "His wedding is next week." The news broke her. Closed up in her red room, the spurned and deceived woman let despair gradually worm its way into her heart. One morning, the sun glittering blood red in the eastern sky, the Lady in Red stood on the railing of her balcony, tears streaming down her rouged cheeks, and jumped to the street below. Now, nearly a century after her death, some of those who stay in her room claim they have heard her footsteps in the room, not stalking, but keeping eternal vigil. Others have seen that sad face peering out at them from the bathroom mirror. She gives a wistful smile, and the room is filled with the poignant scent of roses. Wow. What a tragic and sad story. And this is a picture of the Red Room where the Lady in Red and her beau used to meet. The Lady in Red, LaBorde House. For more information and other ghostly stories, I recommend that you check out their website at www.labordehouse.com. And if you have a chance, go ahead and visit them because They have 7 rooms, and each room has its own story. LaBorde House, Rio Grande City. Featured in the book Ghost of the Rio Grande Valley by David Bowles, illustrations by Jose Melendez. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you for tuning in to One Book or Novel at a Time. And don't forget to tune back in for a special treat that goes along with this story. Thank you for listening and have a spectacular day.